If you're over 60 and your memory isn't as sharp as it used to be, your breakfast could be one of the hidden reasons, and most people don't even realize it. Many seniors focus on lunch and dinner when thinking about healthy eating, but breakfast is where your brain gets its first signal of the day. What you eat in those early hours can either support memory, focus, and mental clarity, or slowly work against it over time. In today's video, we'll walk through the most common breakfast foods that may quietly affect your memory after 60, and more importantly, what to do instead in a simple, realistic way. As we age, the body changes in ways that make these choices more important than ever. Blood sugar control becomes slower, digestion is less efficient, inflammation can rise more easily, and the brain becomes more sensitive to spikes and crashes in energy. This means that foods that once felt harmless may now create subtle but noticeable effects, like brain fog, forgetfulness, low energy, or difficulty concentrating. Let's start with one of the most common breakfast habits. The first is sugary breakfast cereals. Imagine starting your morning with a bowl of cereal that feels light, easy and familiar. It might even be labeled as healthy or whole grain. But many of these cereals are highly processed and packed with added sugar. For decades, they've been a convenient go-to, especially for those who want something quick without cooking. The reason many seniors continue choosing cereal is simple. It's easy, affordable, and often part of a long-standing routine. But here's what happens in the body. When you eat a high-sugar cereal, your blood sugar rises quickly. After 60, your body takes longer to process that sugar efficiently. This leads to a spike, followed by a crash. That crash can affect the brain directly. You may notice mid-morning fatigue, trouble focusing, or that foggy feeling where things don't feel as clear as they should. Over time, repeated spikes like this may contribute to inflammation and reduce stability in brain energy. A better approach doesn't mean giving up cereal completely. Instead, choose options with high fiber and low sugar, and pair them with protein, like Greek yogurt or a handful of nuts. This helps slow down the sugar release and keeps your brain more stable throughout the morning. Now, the next one looks harmless, but it creates a similar problem in a different way. White bread and toast. For many people, breakfast isn't complete without toast, maybe with butter, jam, or even just plain. It's warm, comforting, and deeply tied to routine. But white bread is made from refined flour, which the body processes very quickly. This means it acts almost like sugar once it enters your system. The fiber has been removed, so it doesn't slow digestion. As a result, blood sugar rises rapidly, just like with sugary cereal for older adults. This can lead to short bursts of energy followed by a noticeable drop. That drop affects not just physical energy, but also mental clarity. You may feel less alert, slower in thinking, or more forgetful as the morning goes on. Instead of removing toast entirely, consider switching to whole grain or sourdough bread. These options digest more slowly and provide a steadier release of energy. Pairing them with protein like eggs or nut butter can make a significant difference in how your brain feels. Here is where things become important for older adults. Fruit juice. A glass of orange juice in the morning seems like a healthy choice. It's often associated with vitamins, freshness, and a good start to the day. But when fruit is turned into juice, something important is lost: the fiber. Without fiber, the natural sugars in fruit enter the bloodstream much faster. This creates a similar spike and crash pattern. For someone over 60, this can place stress on blood sugar regulation and contribute to inflammation over time. The brain depends on steady energy. When that energy becomes unstable, it can affect memory, focus, and even mood. You might feel good right after drinking juice, but an hour later, your energy drops and your thinking feels less sharp. A simple adjustment is to eat whole fruit instead of drinking juice. Even better, pair fruit with a protein source like yogurt or a boiled egg. This slows digestion and supports more stable brain function. This next food is not always bad, but the way many people eat it matters. Processed breakfast meats. Bacon, sausages and deli meats are common in many breakfast routines. They're flavorful, satisfying, and often associated with traditional meals. But these foods are typically high in saturated fats, sodium, and preservatives. Many seniors choose them out of habit or preference. They taste good, and they've been part of breakfast for years. But regularly consuming processed meats may contribute to inflammation and reduce blood flow over time. For the brain, this matters more than it might seem. Good blood flow is essential for delivering oxygen and nutrients. When circulation is not optimal, the brain may not function as efficiently. This can affect memory recall, mental sharpness, and overall clarity. You don't have to eliminate these foods completely, but reducing frequency and replacing them with leaner protein sources like eggs, fish, or plant-based options can support better long-term brain health. Now, let's talk about something many people rely on every morning: pastries and baked goods. Croissants, muffins, donuts, they're quick, delicious, and often paired with coffee. For many seniors, they feel like a treat that makes the morning more enjoyable. But these foods combine refined flour, sugar, and unhealthy fats. This combination can be particularly challenging for the body after 60. It leads to rapid blood sugar spikes, followed by energy crashes. Over time, it may also contribute to inflammation, which is closely linked to cognitive decline. You might notice that after eating these foods, you feel satisfied for a short time, but then sluggish, unfocused, or even slightly irritable later on. That's the brain responding to unstable energy. A better option is to replace pastries with something that still feels satisfying but supports steady energy, like oatmeal with nuts and seeds, or whole grain toast with avocado. These choices provide fiber, healthy fats, and longer-lasting fuel for the brain. Now, let's pause and look at the bigger picture. Most of the foods we've discussed have something in common. They create fast spikes in blood sugar, followed by drops. They are often low in fiber, low in protein, and highly processed. While they may be convenient or comforting, they don't provide the steady energy the brain needs, especially after 60. On the other hand, the best breakfast choices share a different pattern. They include fiber, protein, and healthy fats. They digest more slowly. They support stable blood flow and reduce unnecessary inflammation. And most importantly, they help the brain stay clear, focused, and energized throughout the day. One common mistake many seniors make is focusing only on calories or portion size, instead of how food affects energy and brain function. It's not just about eating less, it's about eating smarter. So what does a simple, brain-friendly breakfast actually look like? It doesn't need to be complicated. A balanced breakfast includes a few key elements. First, fiber. This helps slow digestion and stabilize blood sugar. Second, protein. This supports brain function and keeps you full longer. Third, healthy fats. These provide steady energy and support brain health. And finally, hydration, because even mild dehydration can affect memory and focus. For example, a simple breakfast could be oatmeal with nuts and berries, paired with a boiled egg, or whole grain toast with avocado and a side of yogurt. Even small changes like adding protein or switching to whole foods can make a noticeable difference. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. Small improvements repeated daily can have a powerful effect over time. As you move forward, remember this: your breakfast is not just about starting your day, it's about setting the tone for your brain. The foods you choose in the morning can either support clarity and memory or slowly work against them. If you found this helpful, consider making one small change tomorrow morning. That's all it takes to begin improving how your brain feels, one step at a time.